The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Cowboys StoryLine. I'm Nick Eatman here. It's Tuesday, July the 30th, and it's time to talk Cowboys with you. We know we got callers already on the line. Excited about that. Wanted to hear what you guys have to say about what's happened over the weekend, what hasn't happened, who's still not here. Contracts are up in the air still with Dak and CeeDee Lamb, but sounds like, well, I'm not going to say they're making progress. I don't know. They've sent some offers. Doesn't mean that they've been received well. Certainly hasn't been, no one signed yet. So, but Stephen Jones has said he is upbeat about it. I think Jerry Jones feels the same way. But until they see another 88 actually on the field, then and I think they'll be really upbeat about that. All right, 214-387-1659. Remember, that's the new number to call. We've already got two on the line. We can get after it right now. We can get started. It's Dom in Odessa, Texas. Dom.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Just got worried. I just wanted to see what your thoughts were. I've asked you before, about what you think with Dak, is getting further along and still hasn't made any progress, or not that we know of. He says it's not about the money, but I just want to, what do you think is stopping him from signing? And do you think if he doesn't sign, will that affect CeeDee Lamb's contract? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Dom. Appreciate that. I think that, I think they're somewhat connected from CeeDee's standpoint. And I think that's helping the negotiations with CeeDee, is that they're also negotiating with Dak. He obviously doesn't want a situation like we've talked about before with the Raiders where, Devontae Adams has a big deal, but there's really not a quarterback there to help him. And so, yeah, he obviously wants to have a quarterback in place. So I think both of these are somewhat tied when it comes to CeeDee. I think Dak knows, there's going to be a quarterback. There's going to be great receivers here, and that's always going to be the case. And so I think for Dak, when he made the comment about it's not about the money, it's not, or he doesn't play for money, there's so much you can take out of that. But the holdup is probably, just the length of the deal, the terms of the deal, guaranteed money. He made an interesting statement about, it's more than just getting the right deal for him and his family and all that stuff. There's an obligation there. There's a line. All these guys, all these quarterbacks have to play ball. Tua's doing it. He's doing it. And then it just keeps cycling like that. It helps helps the other quarterbacks. We talked about it on the last show too. So there's a lot more to it, and that's why it's really complicated. These things. It sounds like what Steven is saying, that they take time, but they do. They clearly do, because it's more than just, does this work for you? This works for us? Okay, cool. This is a contract that's really going to shape how the team functions here for the next few years. So there's a lot going on here, and there's no deadline for it right now. So that's why they're being very cautious about things, and they're waiting for other deals to fall. I think they were really, interested in what Miami was going to do with Tua, and that's, again, that's another player that's had some success, had some stats, not winning, big games all the time. So, there's another comparable type player, even though he's got, you would think, more career to go than Dak, but still, when you're looking at deals like that, I think, everyone that goes off the board kind of helps the Cowboys. All right, let's stay in the West Texas area. Justin from Lubbock, Texas is on the line. Justin.
How are you, sir?
Hey, man. What's going on?
Man, I'm excited for first day at pads. That's really where you really figure out the physicality of the team and everything. My question would be, A, how Tyler Guyton performs, and I mean everybody can look good in t-shirt and helmet, but how can he handle Micah Parsons off the edge? And my question for you would be: is there a sleeper that we should be paying attention to that you think will really make a name for himself once pads come on?
Okay. Appreciate that. Good questions. Good stuff. All right, Justin. Thanks for the call.
Yes, sir.
Keeping those lines open here. 214-387-1659. Pads do come on today. The scary part about that is, yeah, you get to see it be physical, and not that you need it to be physical to lose a key player for the entire season. And I haven't mentioned that yet. Sam Williams out for the season now, torn ACL and MCL in his left knee in a non-contact drill for special teams. So, yeah, kind of scary when the pads come on. I mean, yeah, I know you got to play football, and that's the best way to get better at football is to play football. And the pads is what they do, but that's just a crushing blow for this team early on. He was one of their free agents. That's what I keep saying. Sam Williams was a free agent type player, type addition that they need to step up. They need that guy. They need a second-round pick from 2 seasons ago has got to be able to step up and be the guy. And especially when they lost 2 pass rushers out of their depth. They had 5. They lost 2 of them in Dorrance Armstrong and Dante Fowler, and now they've lost 3 for the year with Sam Williams. So that's a tough one. But you can't worry about that. You got to keep playing. You got to keep going. And so what's going to happen when the pads come on? We'll see. We'll get to see guys like linebackers, running backs, offensive linemen. So the sleeper, it's not really a sleeper, but I'd like to see Beebe and Hoffman, those centers. I'd like to see them, what they're going to be able to do. Are they going to be able to move people around there at the center position? So that it's really all linemen. It's those linemen when they get on. And Guyton did a nice job. Tyler Guyton did a nice job when he was blocking Micah Parsons. But, let's see, like you said, when the pads come on, what's going to happen there? What's going to happen with Guyton? Is he going to be able to stay with these guys, stay with Micah Parsons when he's coming off the edge like that? So, but still, that's what training camp is. It's being physical. It's blocking. It's somewhat tackling. We'll see what happens when the pads come on here today. All right, let's go to the next caller, Brian in Kansas City. What's up?
Hey, Nick, how are you, man?
Good. What's up, man?
Hey, good to talk to you. Glad to see you're back. There's no more depressing thing than going on DallasCowboys.com, looking under events, and seeing no events scheduled for a month, man.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I'm really pleased with what we see for linebacker depth this year. Obviously, we just, in prayers to Sam Williams and his family, we just lost a little depth on the defensive line. So I'm curious about something. What do you think in the positions, both in D tackle, now D end, and running back? What do you think is the most likely position where the Cowboys might go outside the organization to get significant help, not just a depth piece, but somebody who might actually play, 50, 60, 70% of snaps because they need it? And for my old timer, I think I'll go with the greatest studier of all Cowboys is Sean Lee. And I'll hang up and listen, man.
All right. Thanks, Brian. The defensive end has got to be the position that they go get. And I couldn't tell if you said other than defensive end. So, yeah, that's the one. That's definitely the position. I could see a lot of help there. And then running back would probably be another one where I could see them getting some help from the outside, somebody that they like, somebody that could, get a few snaps here. Those would be the two that I could see because they're kind of plug-and-play type positions. Maybe some depth at corner, too, if that was available. Cornerback would be another one. All right, Sean Lee, Yeah, one of the best. One of the best to study, like you said. Knew the game inside and out. His body didn't allow him to be a great player, and that was evident in college. That's why he dropped to the second round. He had injury concerns in college, and so I don't know, when you look back at his career, I don't know if you could even say, well, did he have a great career? Did he not? Injuries certainly hurt him from being better than what he was. All right, let's go to Bob in Rio Grande Valley.
Good morning, Nick.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Hey, buddy, I tell you what, it is great to hear your voice and see your smiling face on TV again. And also here on the podcast. I was telling Chris I got my T-shirt from you guys, and I appreciate it so much.
You're welcome.
And now the pads are coming on, and I can finally get my Cowboys fix.
Yep.
The injury to Sam Williams was unfortunate. But it looks like right now we're gonna be trying to fill that position. And hopefully we don't get any more in that same area and go through what we went through last year with the linebackers. I'm very optimistic, Nick, about this season. I think that between the draft and the free agency acquisitions that we made in the off season, I think we really strengthened the team, and I'm excited about the defense this year because of Zimmer. I think that he's going to bring a whole different wrinkle to that defense, and I think we're going to be a lot more solid. And I think Mozzie Smith has turned the corner. I think this defense is better suited for him, and I think he's going to fill that number one pick that he was given when he was selected. I think that he's going to earn that this year and show us that the Cowboys made the right decision. What do you think?
Well, I think he has to. I think Mozzie Smith has to turn that corner and be the guy, and there's no, hope or anything like that. I mean, they were fortunate to be able to kind of withstand it last year with Hankins and Neville Gallimore, I guess, and Osa there, and him not have to play, but he has to play now. He has to play. They can't have a first-round pick from last year that doesn't help them, especially at that position where they need some strength and some run support. So I thought Micah Parsons said it best when he was saying there is no, hope for him. He has to play. There's no other way. You're a first-round pick. Act like it. That's really what it comes down. He didn't say that. I said that. He's a first-round pick. You have to be a first-round pick. And this is the year to do that. And it goes for the next. It goes to Luke Schoonmaker as a second-round pick. You got to be a second-round pick. Overshown. I'm going through that whole draft. Third-round pick needs you on the field, and I don't know he got hurt. I mean, that's not his fault. But I'm just saying this is what they need. They need those guys. So to answer your question about defense, 100%. I definitely think that Zimmer and this defense is going to be good. Tough loss again, to keep reiterating about Sam Williams. So they're going to need some help there. They're going to need somebody to fill that gap. I think it comes from the outside. We'll see. They've got some guys here. They drafted Marshawn Nealon. Darrell Johnson's a name that keeps kind of getting thrown out there. Junior Fehoko from last year's draft. Need something out of you as well. So if you can rush the passer, this would be the time to raise your hand for this team. All right. Thanks for the call, Bob. How about let's go to Rick? He's in Massachusetts. Rick, what's up?
Hey, Nick. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. A couple questions. Do you know if there's any word of free agents being picked up or whatever to help with the Sam Williams loss? Or do you think they could move over Chauncey Golston or somebody like that to cover that spot?
Golston is an interesting player because he's just not the body type that you're looking for there off the edge. He's a defensive end. He's kind of a Tank. It's a poor man's Tank Lawrence, because Tank can get off the edge and make plays. But, Golston's kind of that. He's really that guy that would be in a 3-4 defense that would play like the defensive end position in a 3-4. That's kind of a better suited spot for him. They don't play that, but so he's really kind of an in-betweener of tackle and end, and one of those pass rushing tackles on third and long. He's got some flexibility, but he's not really what you're looking for off the edge. That's not the guy. But in this case, you don't have a lot of options, so he's gonna have to be included in that mix too. And as for the free agent stuff, yeah, we sort of talked about it. Yeah, there's some names out there. One of them I can't pronounce. From that played at Jacksonville. I know he's out there. Carl Lawson's a name I can't pronounce. He's out there. Some players like that, but I still think the Cowboys will do that. I think that they'll have to go look at some help, and it might be a UFL guy that rushed the passer. I don't know, but from one way or another, I think you got to get some help there and sign someone. So, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, Rick, you got another
Thank
question?
you. Nope, thank you.
Have a nice day. Thanks, Rick. All right, let's go to Ali in France.
Hello, Nick.
How you doing?
Pretty good, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. What's up?
First of all, I want to thank you for my shirt.
You're welcome.
I mean,
It found you.
Paris photographing the Olympic. I wish you were here. And we don't have any contract problem. Everybody plays with joy of playing.
Well,
So
they do. I mean, like, nah, there's more to it than that. You have to be paid fairly, and that's just the way that it is, though. You know, and I'll talk about it more when the call's over from my stance on that. But go ahead. What else you got going on?
well, I got a nice fresh baguette for you if you like baguette. It's the best. And a couple of things. I was listening to your last show, and the Dak made the comment that his loyalty goes to quarterbacks as far as the salary stuff. Sometimes I think I wish all the fans they had the union. So maybe between the ownership and the players, they give little loyalty to the fan because we take the heartache. When they lose, you know, we wear it on the sleeve. And, you know, sometimes we are the fans, sometimes it seems like we are afterthoughts. They think about their contract, owners, they think about generating revenue. And in between, the fan get lost. That's just like, it's so heartbreaking.
Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this though. So the fans, the fans that come out here to training camp, and they see Dak Prescott, who's you're talking about with a contract that needs a contract. They see Dak Prescott. He's playing every snap. I mean, how is he not being loyal to the fans? He said that about obligations, but he's got an obligation to his team. He's got obligations to Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, who paid him the money. He's got an obligation to the fans. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. If he had a contract tomorrow, if he doesn't have a contract, he's going to be out here throwing the ball around. So I don't understand where Dak. If you want to talk about CeeDee, that's different. But you said Dak. Dak made the statement. Dak's doing everything. He's filling every obligation around him.
Yeah, you're right. But honestly, I'm not talking about Dak specifically, but it was a comment, and I know they're like a bond together. But as a fan, I'm sure, maybe including you, you know, as a fan, we just like, I know it's part of the game, the contract after contract, this one. And, you know, it's just they make more, the owners make more money, players want more money. And I wish it's so nice to don't hear about this contract stuff. You know, the way I look at it is Achilles' heel. If you remember the game between Buffalo and Kansas City and all the playoff teams, the fan base, they love the team. They don't want to lose any players. But eventually, every team fall apart because the players leave, they get used to it, they buy the jersey for the children, and it seems like it would be nice to be able to somehow they get a hold of this contract and stuff. I mean, it's heartbreaking to see players go down. Dak is coupled. I have no problem with Dak, honest to God. First of all, I don't know the ins and outs, but he made the comment that one, and he says, okay, all the players, all the quarterbacks that switch teams. I said, okay, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, but they won a lot of Super Bowls. Just like you appreciate it, but it's to me, I want some just like a little bit love to just. We don't want to hear that he's gonna leave or he's staying there unless he get paid. He's loyal. He's been such a gentleman. I give you that. But overall, it's just like I always think fans always end up in the short end of the stick. But it is what it is. We are fans, but you're right. He's in the at least is respectable. He's in the training camp, and I don't blame CD either. He needs to get his money,
Okay.
but his ego is always getting in between it.
Okay. All right, Ali. Have a great day. Thank you for the call. Be safe there in France.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
I don't know. I don't know what to take from that. If you understand where CD's coming from and you understand where Dak's coming from, just say you're frustrated that they haven't won the Super Bowl in 30 years. I mean, that's what it is. And I get it. That's what it is. But yeah, I mean, this is the business side of it. I just don't think that Zach Martin got the same kind of hate last year, and I don't know. He didn't. He did not. He did not get the same kind of I don't know about hate. That's maybe not the right word, but he wasn't criticized as much as I think CD is, and I don't know why Dak is. He's not doing anything different. They're just working on getting a new deal. All right, let's go to Tim in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I am fine. I'm glad you guys are back.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But I'm excited about this season. I think Zimmer is exactly what we needed. We needed to be more physical, a little more tougher. And I think he's going to bring that aspect to our team.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, I agree with you. I don't understand why all this hate about Dak. In my opinion, people need to consider the alternative and what it would do to our franchise to be out there searching for a quarterback. I'm of the opinion Dak is at least top 10 in the NFL. And let's pay the man and let's move forward. That's just my opinion. But excited about the season, very optimistic, and that's all I got to say.
All right. Well, thanks for the call, Tim. Remember this: it's not just pay the man; it's also sign the contract. So it's two things to this. It has to be reiterated every single time that CD has a deal in place, or he has an offer. Dak has an offer. Okay, they don't like it necessarily, or they're trying to tweak parts of it. There's a lot of factors that go into this. Guaranteed money, how much, also incentives, escalators type things, the voidable contracts for voidable years this year, just everything involved in this. And I just think it's a situation that it's not just the Cowboys paying Dak. They have a deal in place for him, but they're just not. It's not exactly happening just yet because it's got to be Dak has to agree to it. CD has to agree to it. The Cowboys are trying to get this thing done, so it's got to work for both sides of this. And meanwhile, it's a big enough deal for CD to take the fine. Right now, that's where he is. It's about $40,000 a day, and he's taking that fine. He's probably hopeful that it'll get voided out if the new deal comes into place, but the Cowboys don't have to do that if they don't want to. All right, Randy in Texarkana. Randy.
Show right now.
Randy, are you there?
Oh, you cannot hear me?
What's up, Randy?
Oh no! Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
What's up?
I started off with a man, blood clot man. Here's boss man Derek listening to this show right now.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Haven't
All right,
seen
well,
him in a
pass
couple
the
days.
word. Okay, well, pass the word. He needs to put in the budget while y'all are in California to go ahead and get you a couple new lines there at the Star because you are growing, my friend, and it is almost impossible to get in. So
It's
y'all
not the
gonna have
lines.
to
We need.
line.
It's not the phone lines. It would be another person to answer them.
Whichever. Um, let's see. All right, what I got today. I haven't been able to listen to the show this morning because I've been going at it. Have you talked about all the young rookies and young guys? Have you been on
No.
that subject a lot?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Go for
So
it.
help me with this. I know that they did. They say that the reason why they didn't go after the free agents and all that is because they want all the young guys. Well, every year you'll hear about one or two of the young guys that just really, really get you excited. The season comes along and they vanish. We don't ever see them, hear from them because the other guys are, crowding the spots. But I don't know why, but this year, I don't know if it's y'all overhyping or just walking me off the ledge, but I am super excited about all these young guys. You've got one of them nicknamed the Seatbelt and
Who are you talking
got a
about?
law firm and let's see, his cornerback? Um, what's his name? The one we drafted in the later
Carson.
rounds.
Jalen
Yes,
Carson.
yes, they've done nicknamed him the Seatbelt,
Okay.
and because he latches on,
No.
and
No.
your
Calm.
guys are the ones that are naming
Well,
him that.
then the seatbelt broke when
Uh
Tyron
oh.
Billy Johnson ran right past him for a touchdown.
Uh
Hey,
oh.
he's a rookie. He's making some plays for both teams. That's what happens with
There you go.
cornerbacks. You make a play for the defense and the offense a lot. Seatbelt seems a little aggressive. Maybe like in the '80s, like an
No,
'80s
I think
seatbelt
it's
that
No C
sometimes you wore
Walker
it, sometimes you
calling him
didn't.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I mean, you're out there with them. Do we have reason to believe that the young guys that they're really hyping up right now in training camp, do they look like they have a legitimate chance of seeing the field this year
Yeah.
and giving us something?
I think so because because out of necessity. I mean, they have to. You really have to play these guys. You mentioned guys that did well last year and then kind of panned out. I mean, that Jalen Brooks comes to mind. Deuce Vaughn. I mean,
Yes.
those are players that that I see, and that's going all the way back to a player named Jeff Ogden in my very first training camp here. I mean, just a guy that was like,
Absolutely.
wow, this guy's unbelievable. He's great. He might take over for Michael Irvin. Like, calm down. He'll be traded to the Dolphins next year, and
Right.
but it happens. It happens every year. I forgot the guy's name. Eric somebody. He was a receiver and out here, and it was Tanny was the quarterback, and there was some Eric. I can't remember his last name, but these two were having an unbelievable camp, and it turns out that the receiver, and I forget his name, which is also making my point that I think he played in the Arena League for like 8 years or something like that. But so
Yeah.
what you see out here, it's fun, it's football, it's time to get excited, get pumped about it. But it is. You talk about the seatbelt. I'll talk about the brakes. Tap the brakes on some of these things right now. But I know Patrick, Josh. I mean, they're getting excited about it. That might be who you're talking about nicknaming
Yeah.
certain players, and they're seeing a lot of it too. And it's good to get excited about these guys.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they are rookies. The pads come on. Everything changes a little bit because when you're talking about who you can evaluate, it's always the same. It's always the corners, the receivers, the quarterbacks, because those are the things you can really see: throw, catch, coverage, all that. Let's see. The other guys are going to get a chance to get evaluated now today when the pads come on.
Right. And it's sad to say that, a lot of times these guys don't really get their fair shake until there's an injury. You never want that.
Right.
But, I mean, look at Bland. He was just on the top 100, and he literally got his shot because, number 7 went down. So it's bad that that's usually the way it works. I kind of hope that they get a shot without the injuries. It would be really cool to see these guys do something because, boy, if you can get a bunch of them youngsters to do something, all this, everybody sweating over the cap and big money and all that, that'll kind of ease up a little bit if we can get a handful of young guys to hold us over for the next few years and
Right.
let the cap catch up to us, you know?
Definitely. I mean, but that's the key. You need cheap help. I mean, that's how you survive. You draft well, and they play, and they play 3 to 4 years of their deal relatively cheap. And what it
Yep.
really helps is when you do it with a quarterback. And that's why the Cowboys had that window when they weren't paying Dak the big money. The Eagles had a window
Exactly.
too before they
Yeah.
had to pay Hurts. I mean, like it's what happens. But you have to keep drafting well, and that's what you need, cheap superstars. And that's what it is. And right now, maybe Bland is one, and maybe Ferguson could be one too. And you need more of those. That's why you have to develop these guys. And I think they thought Sam Williams had a shot too. He still does. I mean, he's hurt
Yeah.
for the season, but remember, he's got a 4-year deal, so this was his 3rd year. So next year he comes back from an injury, and it'll be a contract year for him.
What does Bland have left on his before he's?
Bland's a 4-year deal. This is his 3rd season, so he would be.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he would.
If he has him another great year, he might request an early contract. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's going to be interesting because he gives. I mean, let's be honest. You cannot dismiss pick sixes. Okay, I mean that is unbelievable. No. He gives up plays too. I mean, he's not. He's not the shutdown cornerback all the time.
Well,
he's just
Diggs he's a reflection of Diggs. That's the same way Diggs was.
Yeah.
If you think about it, and then he got his big contract. So
true. I
kind of think that's the way that works these days.
I
think the days of Dion are kind of over.
Yeah, I do too. There's not another player like that. Like Dion, but I think that I'd like to see both of them at a high level like this. Like I want to see Bland playing his game, Diggs playing his game, and then those safeties I think will have a good chance to make some plays too if you've got 2 playmakers there on the outside that quarterbacks know. Yeah, good luck testing them, but they're also going to make plays on the ball they can catch. I mean, those are 4 really good hands at the cornerback position. They probably haven't had that in a long, long time of receiver type players.
Yes.
So
I agree. Well, brother, keep working on that tan. You look good on TV.
Thanks, Randy. Appreciate that. It's kind of cloudy here today.
Yeah.
All right. Well, have a good one. Hold
Yes,
it down there in Texarkana. Make me
say
a shout out to my mom and
to them folks.
Yeah, out there in Texarkana. And
hey, I got tickets to the Lions game. Can you believe it?
Randy.
Uh-oh. Did you? Uh-oh. I lost you.
Have a good one, man.
Hey. All right, I'll say bye.
Have fun at the Lions game. All right. Yep. Travis in San Antonio. Can we go to Travis next?
Hey, Nick. What's going on?
Good. How are you doing?
How's the tractor today? Is it keeping lower decibel for you?
It's between. We've got a leaf blower over here. We got a tractor over here. Yeah.
They just need to recognize when the show's going on, when the light's on. They got to stay out of the area.
Yeah, I guess this is like a golf course.
The field's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean it's like a golf course. You have to mow it like every day. I mean you have to. Yeah, and you have to mow it at 8 a.m. when the show comes on. So all good.
I was gonna say it's fitting that I'm following Randy because I guess I've made it now because Randy liked one of my tweets the other day. So that's the stamp that you've made it.
Did Rob in Vegas like it though? How about Rob?
Right. Yeah. Well, it's funny enough. That's kind of where I'm going this morning. I'm going to hit two of I think the topics that we've been going back and forth on. Dylan, Rob, all the people on Twitter, and one of them is first I want to do a PSA for all fans because I said this on Twitter is can we stop with the whole practice like every time someone throws a pick like it's oh my god he threw a pick so he's terrible like they're doing it's happening with Trey right now. Everyone, like I've seen it all over Twitter where it's like, see, he threw a pick, he's terrible. Like, and then I see Brock Purdy has 3 picks. Like the whole pick, this whole pick phenomena at preseason or at training camp stuff, and like seeing one clip is kind of silly. Like they're gonna throw, I don't care. Like they're gonna throw picks. Like it's not the way we're gonna judge. At least I hope not.
No.
The measurement for Trey is going to be in preseason. And then kind of speaking to that, like the test will be like if he's progressed through the preseason games. Like everyone forgets, Nick, and I know you've pointed this out too, but Dak was not a good practice player early on in his career, and he was being beaten out by Jamil Showers, who played some safety. So like I'm just trying to like everyone just tamper down like we're trying to stamp whether he's good or bad right now.
Trey
he's
Lance.
had some regular
Trey
season
Lance.
success. Yeah, it's just, and I know, and I get it. I think it's also like I know we've been saying Dak's been getting hate, but I mean it's been all over Twitter. Like, and I get it. It's probably from pro. And again, I hope they sign Dak and they figure out a way to do it. But I don't know why everyone is so like we want to see Trey like suck. Like, there's no downside to Trey playing well in preseason, at least for me. So, and what one of the callers was mentioning earlier that it isn't being said enough, and you mentioned it back after the call, was like, what if Dak says no?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one's saying that. Like, we can say, we're all assuming like they give him a deal, he signs the deal. What if it gets down the line, he says, I would rather hit the open market, and then you guys can come to me and we can talk. Like, it's a possible scenario that like it doesn't seem like anyone's considering. So I just think there's no downside to if Trey plays well.
There's certainly a scenario. You're not going to feel good about your 3rd round pick of compensation that you're going to get for that.
Right.
You know, that's what it would be. You'd lose him in free agency if he could say no.
Right.
But you know, he's got to figure that part out too. Being the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys is a little different than any other team, and so good and bad. I mean, good and bad. So you know, every pick, like you just said, is in practice is probably talked about a lot more. But at the same time, I see him on TV a lot more too. I see a lot more commercials for him, and that's always going to be the case. Whether you're playing or not, just look at who's the color commentators for in Monday Night Football and for Fox. It's Romo and Aikman. And I guarantee you the fact that they played for the Cowboys is a big part of it. I'm not saying that's what he's going to do. All I'm saying is you make more money when you're the quarterback of the Cowboys off the field as opposed to on it.
Right.
He knows that. His agent knows that. They're just trying to make the deal work. I don't think he's going to say no. I think they're going to have a deal where he's the quarterback of the team. That's what I really believe. So
yeah, and I think that too. And then I think it's because people are trying to justify like them being like the whole trade for Trey, which I don't think was a bad move. When quarterbacks, we always say quarterbacks are what they are in this league as far as value goes. You're taking a shot at it. If he plays well, maybe he's a good backup for Dak if Dak signs. If Dak says no, I know people hate like this is the hot button. People hate this, but like if Dak says no, then the cupboard's not empty.
Yeah.
Like then you have something that you can build around. I'm not throwing dirt on Trey. Like I just want to.
Right.
He needs a chance. He hasn't played a lot of football to begin with. So
I agree.
All
right.
And the other thing is,
go ahead.
I was going to say the other thing is Nealand. Feel bad for Sam. We've been talking about like the run defense, and it wasn't just interior, which the interior obviously that's the obvious area it needs to improve, but it's also the edges. And I think hopefully Micah, he's a part of that. Hopefully he improves as a run edge defender. But I think what I've seen in preseason or in the training camp, sorry, I keep saying preseason, but in training camp is they're maybe using the way around this. We're talking about him, wearing down and stuff like that. And I think it's great that Zimmer's moving him back around like he did more 2 years ago. So maybe I want to see what you think about this. Is maybe they're going to use a defensive end like Nealand, who is more of a run first type of defensive end. Maybe in the base package, like on first down, where Mikey is off the ball. And maybe that over the course of the year will help kind of preserve him a little bit, and then he can kind of get into the line on second and third down and be able to rush the passer. So just want to see what you thought.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for the call, Travis. That's what a run defense type thing is going to be. It is going to be stopping the run. I mean, that's what you do. Like when you say that's the focus, is stopping the run, then you're like, well, how do we do that? How do you focus on that more? And it's for what you just said. It's playing players that have better skill sets to do that, to stop the run. And we've been here in the past. Nothing against other schemes, because other schemes work too. But Dan Quinn's scheme is more about getting after the quarterback. It's about playing the pass. His pass rushers that he put in were more about getting to the quarterback. The linebackers were more about stopping tight ends and stopping the passing game as opposed to the run. So there is a change there, and I think you're seeing a little bit more emphasis on getting that run stopped. And you could argue all day that the game has changed to the point where from the 80s and 90s when it was running all the time, and now you've got to play that on defense. But the Cowboys did that all last year, and then they got to the playoffs and they faced a team that hit them in the mouth running the ball. And that happens in the playoffs. And so I think for this defense, what I like about Zimmer is that I've seen him play some 3-4. We've seen him play 4-3. So he obviously can play two different schemes, and you need that. You need versatility to be able to play it against any matchup. You want to be able to match up against somebody in the playoffs and say, we can go up against them. Oh, you want to run the ball 40, 50 times? Fine. We can stop you. You want to throw it 60, 70 times? We can stop that too. And so that's what I think a playoff defense needs to be, is have the versatility and the flexibility to be able to do that all the time. All right, let's and another point that you said about Trey Lance, I got to be careful with this from what I see and be like, and just make a quick knee-jerk reaction. It's like, wow, he's not ever going to be, because I could promise you this, and you said it, Dak did not look good as a rookie, so I wouldn't have ever thought, well, not only is he going to be good, down the line, he's going to be good this year. Like, we never saw that. That came out of left field as a rookie. I never, when I was playing in a rec league, or city league flag football game with Chris Beam and some others, I would have never thought that Tony Romo, who was our quarterback at the time, would have been the quarterback of the Cowboys for a decade. Didn't see that one coming either. Now, Romo, that was like his first year with the team, or second year, and Dak was early on. For Trey Lance, I mean, this is like his fourth year now, fourth year. Should start seeing a little bit more out of him there. And for what I see right now, I think Dak's fine. I think Dak's fine to be the starter. I think Cooper Rush is fine to be the backup for what we've seen right now. But a player like him who can run and he's agile and all that those guys tend to play better when the lights come on. So I'm not dismissing anything. But he needs to throw the ball better. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He's got to throw the ball better, because he's getting everybody involved in the passes, including fans, when he's throwing the ball around a little bit. So I'd like to see a little bit more accuracy on that part. All right, let's get going here. Maybe two more calls. Let's go. Brian in Southern California.
Hey, Nick. How are you doing today?
Good. What's up, bud?
I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
All right. We don't have our here we go, but here we go.
Contracts.
All right.
I've heard that both CeeDee Lamb and Micah are asking for the highest paid non-quarterbacks.
Okay.
I don't believe they should be at all. Okay. Let me tell you why. CeeDee is a great possession receiver, but he never takes the top off of the defense. He can't, if you give him 80 yards to run, he'll always get caught. There's other receivers that do possession and take the top off. So I wouldn't pay him at the highest at all, And then Micah,
Brian,
yeah.
You know what the longest play of the season was last year? It was a 90 in the NFL. It was a 97-yard, 92-yard pass to CeeDee Lamb. So if that's not taking the top off, I don't know how you can do that.
Yeah, but that's only the one time, right?
Okay, I'm sorry. He just has 192 yards. I'm sorry.
I mean, if he's 20 or 30 yards
out,
take
the top off the defense. That's fine. All right,
I mean, if he's 20 or 30 yards out, yeah, he can do that. But most of the times, if you look at those throws to the end zone, the defensive back is right on him.
That's cool. If he's a possession receiver and he gets 137 catches, I'll take that. And if one of them, just one, is a 92-yarder, I'll take that too. So.
Yeah, but see, if you look at Jefferson or Chase, they take the top off all the time.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you on. I don't think he is going to be the highest non-paid. I don't think he's going to be the highest receiver. I really don't. I don't think that's going to happen.
Let's keep our fingers crossed, because I think with all the players that we have, you know, they are all pretty great players, and all these contracts are going to be coming up, and they're going to price themselves out of the team. You know, so that's what I'm hoping, that we can keep it low. I think Dak should come in lower too, because he is not clearly the best quarterback in the league.
No, he won't be.
And same with Micah. Micah disappears after the 12th or 13th game. I think Micah could get 2 sacks a game. So that would put him at 34 sacks a year, but he's never, ever close to that.
Okay. All right, Brian. Thanks for the call. I don't know about I don't know why you think that Micah should be getting 34 sacks a game, or 34 sacks in a season. That would be a pretty good record there. All right, Rob in Vegas. I'm sorry, Rob, but we're going to have to make this quick. Rob, what's up?
Hey, Nick.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
The last caller, CeeDee's one of the best because he does everything. Over the middle, catches the ball, and definitely could take the top off, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, he's smashed every record the Cowboys have had, and so if you know, and I agree, Bob Hayes could do that, and Michael Irvin was a possession guy, and CeeDee Lamb has been better than that.
CeeDee does it all.
Yeah,
it's funny how the media now has changed with Dak, the way they're talking about him. You know, they're even saying it out loud that no, we think Dak is really good. It's just that he plays for the Cowboys. And now they're saying it. And also, now that these other quarterbacks have gotten the $55 million, now they're starting to say, well, damn, Dak should get 60, 65 because he's so much better than these guys. So that's the only thing that worries me. I think it'll be about a 58. I don't think Dak is going to get 60. Not here, anyway.
No, I don't think so. I think it'll be.
And in a way, I think embarrassed isn't the correct word, but I think he would say to himself, wow, Patrick Mahomes ain't making that. I mean, it's a little obscene when the highest guy's 55. How do I go up $5 million over that? It's usually a couple of million. So I'm thinking 57 to 58 million. I think it gets the job done. And on the Trey Lance thing, listen, I want Trey Lance to be really good in the preseason because the best case scenario is somebody says, I need a quarterback, and is willing to give you a third, a second, and then you make out on the deal. I didn't like the trade at first because I don't like trading for a fourth-round pick that you hope never sees the field. And he doesn't really have a great resume. You know, he doesn't have a great resume. And it's like, no, why am I trading for this guy with a fourth-round pick? You know, they could have used it definitely in this draft. But, no, I don't. Any fan that wants Trey Lance to be bad is just dumb because, no, you never want the guy to be bad, but he has to beat out Cooper Rush.
Right, and he's not there yet.
And he's not there yet. So, like I said, and he's not going to go back to the practice squad, I don't think. So he's got a lot of pressure on him. You know, the preseason games are his playoff games. And let's see what he can do.
All right. I agree. All right. Thanks, Rob, for the call. Thanks to everybody for getting on the calls this morning. Thanks for the mowers and the blowers doing their thing on a consistent level. All right. Coming up next, Cowboys Break will be next. I'm sure they'll talk about a lot of good stuff that they've seen as well. Maybe they'll talk a little bit about contracts since that keeps being in the news. All right, we will be back on Thursday, which will be August. Will be August 1st. We'll be back Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Central Time. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We'll see you next time on StoryLine. See ya.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
Cowboys!